The harsh winter of 1777. The American Revolution was at its darkest hour. And at this crucial turning point, the stage of history made its call for a gambler, for a general, for a founding hero, and for a creditor to a nation. And it all began with a casual afternoon tea. A butterfly flapped its wings, and the course of history would be changed forever. At that moment, in Valley Forge, Washington's Continental Army was on the verge of collapse. Freezing, starving, and more disorderly mob than an army. And it was then that a savior arrived from Europe, recommended by Benjamin Franklin himself. He was presented as a decorated lieutenant general from the service of Prussia's King Frederick the Great, Baron von Steuben. The general's arrival immediately brought hope to the desperate camp, but the soldiers soon discovered that this great man was full of contradictions. He was supposedly a lieutenant general, yet his entourage consisted only of a young French translator, an aide-de-camp, and his beloved Italian greyhound, far too small for a man of his supposed rank. Stranger still, this general, who was to command thousands on American soil, spoke almost no English. Despite the mystery surrounding him, Baron von Steuben immediately began his hellish transformation of the Continental Army. He displayed a genius for training. Instead of trying to drill the entire army at once, he selected 100 of the most elite soldiers from each regiment to form a model company. And he did something that stunned everyone. Unlike other European generals who commanded from horseback, he got down in the mud and snow himself, personally teaching these common soldiers everything. On the training grounds, when the soldiers fumbled their drills, the non-English speaking general would grow exasperated. He would first curse in German, then in French, and finally shout in despair to his translator, "Come here, swear for me in English at these blockheads." In just a few short months, the fighting capability of the entire army was completely reborn. At the Battle of Monmouth, the first major engagement after the Valley Forge winter, the new army forged by Steuben was put to the test. For the first time, they stood toe-to-toe with the powerful British redcoats in a pitched battle. They were no longer a disorderly mob. Baron von Steuben, with his indisputable military talent, won the respect of all and became the hero who saved the American Revolution. But the greatest secret about him would only slowly be revealed after the war was over. The supposed Prussian lieutenant general was, in fact, just an unemployed captain. And the letter of introduction, full of exaggeration, came from the hand of Benjamin Franklin. This shrewd statesman had keenly perceived the precious knowledge and iron hidden within this down-on-his-luck Prussian officer. It was a well-intentioned fraud and a high-stakes gamble. In the end, Steuben, with his real genius, made the lie a reality. After the war, the celebrated hero soon found himself trapped in a 7-year-long bureaucratic nightmare. His initial arrangement with the Continental Congress was merely a gentleman's agreement. Now, facing a nearly bankrupt new nation crushed by immense war debt, his pay and compensation were delayed again and again. After settling in New York, he quickly fell into severe debt once more and even faced the threat of being thrown into debtor's prison. Finally, through the efforts of his friends, especially Alexander Hamilton, the United States Congress at last, in 1790, granted Baron von Steuben a lifetime pension and a large tract of land in New York. This Prussian baron, who had forged the first professional army for America after a lifetime of turmoil, finally had a piece of his own, eternal land in the new continent he had come to love, and was able to live out his final years in peace. A well-intentioned lie and a ragged mob, when united by a great ideal, can indeed forge the destiny of a nation. But perhaps the most incredible part of this story lies in its accidental beginning. Let's turn back the clock to 1777, to a spa town in Germany. At the time, Baron von Steuben, his career in ruins and his future uncertain, was recuperating there, trying to escape the low point of his life. It was here that his life took a fateful turn. During a seemingly casual afternoon tea, he had a chance encounter with an old acquaintance, the French Minister of War, the Comte de Saint-Germain, who was also vacationing at the resort. In their relaxed conversation, the Comte de Saint-Germain was deeply impressed by Steuben's Prussian military knowledge and casually made a suggestion that would change the course of the world. Since there were no opportunities in Europe, why not try his luck on the distant American continent? The rebels that were in desperate need of a professional drill master just like him. It was this chance encounter and casual chat in a foreign land that, like a roll of the dice, opened a door for Steuben that he had never considered, a door to the New World. It makes one wonder, what if, in that German spa town all those years ago, Steuben had never had that chance encounter with the French Minister of War? What if, during that afternoon chat, the Comte de Saint-Germain had never made that wild suggestion? How different would the course of history be? Does this mean that our own fates, and perhaps the entire course of human history, truly hang on nothing more than a chance encounter, and a single, casual remark that changes everything? So, do you believe that the destiny of a nation can truly turn on a single accidental moment?